In this video, I'll show you how to use the Burst Content URL feature. This feature allows you to, as part of a burst, request a PDF or Excel file from a RESTful web service endpoint of an external system. The content from that system can then be included as part of the burst delivery. Let's start by creating a new burst. And to the burst, we will add our business intelligence document. Here I'm working with a web intelligence report from Business Objects, but this feature will support any business intelligence document type supported by InfoBurst. Now we'll be bursting this document, and we'll burst it for just a few values. So our scenario here is we're bursting a report by store. So for each of these two stores, we will create a PDF file. And then what we'd like to do using Content URL is reach out using a RESTful request to extract an invoice for each of these stores and then include the PDF invoice alongside the PDF content produced from the burst. So to do that, we'll go on to our Options tab for the document and select our Content API URL button. Within this UI, you have some choices as to what method to use with the RESTful request, either a GET or a POST. Selecting POST will give us access to the body where we can add additional information. In this example, we'll use a GET request. In the next field, we need our RESTful URL. Now, this is a URL to my invoicing system, and I will be requesting an invoice based on the store name, so I can parameterize this URL request. So with my suffix equals, I can either type in the name of something to retrieve from this system, or in this case, I'll use a parameter macro representing the bursting value of store name and append that to the URL. So when InfoBurst reaches out to make the request for each of those stores, it will pull back the appropriate store invoice for each request. We can set headers for the request if required. This is optional. We need to select the format that InfoBurst is expecting as a result of the request, and that would be Excel, XLS, Excel 2007, which is an XLSX, or a PDF file, and we'll be working with a PDF file here. And then lastly, we can add a optional suffix to the resulting file, and we'll do that here. I'll just suffix this with the word invoice so we can differentiate it from the actual report content. All right. So we'll save that. And this example will do content grouping. So when we burst, we'll produce two PDF files, one for each store. And then what we'd like to do is group that with the appropriate invoice. So into burst properties, we'll go to our content grouping tab. And in this case, we'll be bursting by document variable, where the variable is the bursting value. Template to use, which is this network PDF template here that I've pre-created that defines the destination of a network share and the format of PDF. The grouping variable, and that grouping variable is our prompt name. And that's it. We'll save that. And we'll follow along in the burst activity log so we can see the steps involved in InfoBurst refreshing the report by store and then reaching out with that store value to the RESTful endpoint to retrieve the appropriate PDF invoice. So here we can see InfoBurst refreshed for, let's see, store New York Magnolia. And then we can see where InfoBurst reached out with the RESTful request to the invoicing system. Here's the URL where the store value was amended to the URL, and that gave us the appropriate store invoice. That was done here, and then it was also done for the first value. InfoBurst then went on to group together each store PDF file from the Webby report with the appropriate store invoice, and the result are two grouped PDF files, one for store Los Angeles, one for store New York Magnolia. And within that PDF file, we have on the first page our Web Intelligence Report content. Then the second page is the invoice file that Infoburst retrieved from the invoicing system using the RESTful request.